Hey guys, welcome back to Double the Hustle Podcast. I'm Tori.
And I'm Anna.
And today we have part 2 of Dylan Hypner, the artist Komodo.
Guys, last time we spoke about how he was a D1 athlete, got his dream job at JP Morgan, and turned into a street artist instead. And this week we're going to talk about
where his brand is going, the Komodo Art, and how he's building his business, helping different people learn about art, and it's not always silent. It could be whatever your vision is and however you portray it.
Guys, make sure you come back every week, like, subscribe, and help us grow to double your hustle.
Let's go.
I feel like we touched on your JP Morgan, so now let's jump into, who Dylan actually is now that he's not at JP Morgan.
Now we're back in the real Dylan.
Yeah.
The Dylan's back, baby.
I feel like we chatted the other day and the stories that you started telling me were crazy about, you going down to Miami and driving in your car.
That was nuts, yeah.
I feel like you've been through so much. So where did it start, and what was your first show that you did for people?
It's a great
whether
question.
That was, like you came and painted for us. So where'd you start? Who took the chance on you and said, I want Dylan there to paint?
Yeah, because it's not just like a normal show. Like it's not. Yeah.
So who took the chance was me. Okay. That's like, honestly, I didn't get like a chance for my Art Basel story, at least. It was actually nuts. Like I was like, a year in as an artist. I don't know anybody at Art Basel. I said, Mom, I'm going to Miami. She's like, what are you talking about? And I said, yeah, I got my shit booked for the shows I'm going to. I said, I'm driving down. She's like, what, in the van? I said, no, I'm going to take my Mazda, and packed it all up with art, like 10, 12 pieces just in the back, like crazy artist style, like stacked on top of each other. She's like, what if your car breaks down? I'm like, Mom, it's 2019. I'm not going to break down. And I'm like, we're good. So I drive there. That night, I didn't have a hotel booked. I was on a determination factor. I said, I have nothing planned, and I know it's going to be one of the craziest weeks of my life because I'm going to make it happen. So who's going to give me that shot?
Yeah.
I got to make this happen. I'm driving. I'm going alone. No one's helping me, assist with me. So I drive down there. I'm like 20 hours in. What happens? My car breaks down. I go, so I was supposed to get an oil change like an hour before. I stopped at 4 different places, the Walmart auto place, different auto body shops. Everyone's like, need an appointment, or like, sorry, can't help you. So I'm like, shit, all right. Another 15 minutes to go. Stop in CVS, go to the bathroom quick. I come back out, start my car, dead. I'm like, oh no. I was like, oh mama. I was like, you were right, Mama. And then all of a sudden, I'm looking up mechanics in Miami. No mechanics. Because Miami and Miami Beach, you have to cross over the bridge. There's something called a mobile mechanic where they have to come to you if, even if your car is not broken down. So I'm calling all these people that we can't come till tomorrow. We can't do anything. I'm freaking out. This event I'm late to started 30 minutes ago. I'm 5 minutes away. Almost made it. 20 hours in, almost made it. And I said, I'm not giving up. I came here for a reason. I looked up, I looked at the palm trees, I looked at the art in my car, and I was like, all right, look, we're in Florida, baby. We got some art. Let's make it rock. Yeah. So I called my dad, my guy. I go, Dad, we got a problem. Houston, we got Ernie, we got a problem. I said, my car's out of luck. He goes, damn. He goes, you know what? It's not supposed to do this, but for purposes, he goes, maybe just go to like the gas station or auto body shop and get some fluid and put it in and then drive to a mechanic. So at least it starts. So I'm not the biggest car guy either. You know what I'm saying? I like cars, but I'm not like this manly man out here, under the car and shit. I got that paintbrush and shit. So I call him and I go and I get these 4 liters or whatever it was and I put it all in. So I'm like, I looked up the maximum amount, put it all in. I call him, hey Dad, I put it all in. He goes, wait, you put everything in? And I put a little too much where I learned that you put too much oil in, actually over flood and actually a big problem, which now I learned this. So now I actually needed to go to a mechanic and have him do a whole new oil change. And at this point I said, I'm leaving my car at the mechanic and I'm getting it tomorrow. Yeah. I dipped. I said, we're going. So I started walking to this event, like a 15-minute walk. Got there, finally get there. Art's in the car still. by the way. So go to this event, I'm hanging out, and I still didn't have a hotel that night, you know. And I don't operate like this. This was more of like a mission.
You just got to do it.
I was like, I'm going to
Figure it out.
You got to get
figure it
into
out.
Yeah.
And, you know, one of my good friends, Brandon, I met there. Got a sick hotel. We stayed together. We still talk every day. Great bond. And shout out to Brandon because it was so funny. I was like a nervous little kid. It meant so much to me too. So I was like,
Yeah.
what are we doing? Is there any events? And like, listen, I'm not going to annoy you, be on your ass, but, you know, if you want to do anything, you know, we could do it. So we were hanging out together, going to events, and there was this guy, Artlana. Shout out Artlana, he's dope
yeah.
artist from Miami.
Doesn't he do the cars?
Yeah, he does dope. He does a car splatter. He does a lot more. But I went to his show, which I'm actually going to be a part of this year, and I just was like a member there, not an artist. I was looking around, talking to everyone, and basically I saw him kind of jumping around and throwing the paint, and you know, so many people
Not
around
being
him, and
your
he
average
killed
quiet,
it. And he said, you know, I don't care about anybody else says. Like, you know, so many people are like, oh, he throws paint at cars. No, they can't do it, and especially they can't get everyone in a room here and make a difference.
Right.
And there's techniques behind it, but basically I saw him doing it, and I was like, never at once said that like I could do exactly what he's doing, or I want to be exactly like him. But he inspired me that I kind of am a crazy guy. I love being like nuts, making people laugh, saying shit a little more vulgar sometimes, and like being someone be like, "Oh my God, you just say that?" And you know, I'll jump around. I don't say I dance, I move, but I'll be on the floor, right? So like, as I saw him doing this, I said, "Whoa!" I drove back. And I made some great relationships, but the best thing was I was driving back and there's like a voice speaking to me. It said, dude, you gotta like perform. And it was kind of hard for me to deal with because I'm like, what do you mean perform? I was just at like Wall Street and like, it was like, no, you're gonna actually get on stages and be this performer. And it was both going in my head. It's like, what am I talking about? Like, like I'm gonna tell people now, come to my show. I'm like, you know, doing this. And I like realized then that it's like the real me, like using the art to just make a difference.
Right.
And what I do, like whether people really don't like it or not, is a fake smile, or like, oh shit, they're gonna smile. They're gonna be like, what's going on?
Right.
And,
They're gonna be interested.
that's kind of my motto. So my motto. So my motto, Komodo motto, baby. So
That's funny.
so I came back, and then right away I'm like, I got to do my first show. So right when I got back, I went to my old studio, set everything up, had cameras by myself, and I started jumping on top of stuff, throwing paint at stuff, falling off, and like crazy video. And like people were like, what the hell? It kind of went like past my followers, and people like, art, what is this? And I'm like, I love you. Like, thank you. I'm like, I'll give them the kissing emojis. I'm like, and my friends would be like, yo, I see people talking shit, and you like tell them you love them and stuff. And I did that, and I was like practicing for my show that I set up within like 2 months, and I got 150 people there.
Where was it?
Yeah, it was my like solo show that I actually partnered up with Patrizia's. Shout out my boy Santiago. Patrizia's of Massapequa, that kind of came in, and my boy Santiago was like, dude, your story's unbelievable. He heard it, and I kind of told him what I was trying to do, and he's like, boom, we'll get you the event. We'll get the food. I'm sponsoring. I'll bring everything. You know, you bring the people like who you have, and let's pump you up. So everyone came out, and I kind of was like, look, I'm going to have all my own art, solo show, but then I'm going to set up this tarp and pop out. So I kind of did some shit that was a learning lesson. It was my first time doing it, but as I was on that tarp and people around me, I was like, I love this. And I like don't see like specific like people face like who I'm looking. I'm just like, I feel like I want to turn up. Like this is I get more energy. And the little nerves I feel are sometimes before. But once I'm like, just like the football, the sports. Once you're on that, you know, whatever, it's a field, the turf, the court, you get in the zone. And every time I'm on the mic yesterday with that, like hundreds of people, and they didn't have a tarp set up for me right away. And finally they gave me the mic, and I'm in front of all these people, and all you know, everyone's around me doing the art with me, and I have the mic, and I'm like, all right, what do I do? I'm throwing paint here. This is what I was planning to do, like not draw. So like, I was like, all right, you know what? I said, everybody, what's going on? I'm artist Komodo Art, the founder. I said, you know, I'm rather be nowhere in the world than I can't wait. Like, I'm gonna put a show on for you guys.
Yeah.
But listen, they don't have the tarp ready. So it's just whatever. I'm gonna throw it, and I guess they're gonna have to mop it up after, right? Some people were like laughing, and then in my head,
he's crazy.
crazy. They were the whole half the room probably.
Yeah,
probably 99%. It's probably like, just me.
No, he's about to get in trouble.
So I was like, I didn't realize what I said because I am just a little like just say stuff sometimes.
Yeah.
So in my head, I realized I'm like, oh wait, the party didn't even start yet, and this is a dance floor right in the middle. So everyone's gonna be balking on paint. It's gonna be like tracks. So I'm like, actually, I can't do this. So I had to think on the spot, and then I said, you know what, Dill, you're thinking too much, and like all these people around you. This is about the people who I was doing it with certain disabilities. That was my heart, what I want to do, and educate everyone. And it's about them. So I started getting them in the zone. I'm like, Jeffrey, Chris, Michael, time to go. Let's go. Break on 3. I had the crowd chanting their names. They're throwing the paint, smile. I'm like, more, we got to go like this. I'm like, God, give me it. And they're like, oh. And they're like, the video will come out. I'll show you guys. And then kind of once I got into that moment too, it's like,
they're having fun. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like not about everyone around.
Yeah.
Like I kind of snap back into reality. Like, what am I here for?
Yeah.
And if they weren't around, it's like, even just me.
Yeah.
I'll fall. I'll try to jump over a table and have a canvas over there and do like a swan dive and try to do it. And, I don't got the best bunnies. I'm more of a contact guy. I was never a frog, like a hopper, like a leaper. So I probably won't look that nice.
I won't make it.
I maybe might not clear it, but that's better because the fall will be that more like, wow, what is this guy doing here? Get the paints all over me. I'm like, oh.
That's crazy.
Part of the show.
Yeah.
But
They wanna.
Yeah. That was the first show,
cool.
and it was a success. And then I just kept.
How long ago was that? When was your
It
first
was in
show?
March.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Nice.
that one was in March, and then I traveled a little bit. I was like, in my opinion, I was chasing opportunities and trying to, in my opinion, being like honest. And then it came to like this summer now with this new like vision with more of this company Komodo Art that I'm pumping that is trying to really change, redefine the art game.
Yeah.
Which for me it's
what's that about? What are you trying to do with the Komodo Art?
So like we talked about before, well, Komodo Art Komodo's been like nickname for like my whole life since I was a kid.
Awesome.
I don't know why, just because I love animals, and it was like, it was gonna be a butterfly, like your Komodo, and
no, it's super dope.
I was even rapping a little bit, spitting on the mic in college. I was Komodo the rapper, like that's how I took on.
So you just
keep it rolling. And then I was Komodo the tattoo artist, and whatever I'll be. So the artist, I'm like, wow, Komodo is actually a very nice kind of branding thing I could work with, like where even you think about like Komodo Miami, one of the best restaurants in Miami is just Komodo. So I'm like, wow, that's authentic. It's me. And kind of once I learned about Komodo dragons, because they're dope, but the main thing when I actually looked into it, because I'm like, this is me as this artist. I mean, look at more of like this description and like more about
see if it aligns.
The coolest thing for me was like, in Indonesia, they're extremely tied with like a spiritual connection and with the people there, their ancestors. And for me, I'm a huge believer that my nanny, who passed 10 years ago, is a huge reason where like I feel like my mind opened up in a different way when she left, and unexplainable. Like I feel like unless like you are like dealing with a specific situation, and everyone does, so people could all relate, but like I know she's like everywhere with me, and there's a voice like I get in my head that I know is her that tells me like, you got too much to do right now, like to spread this love, this message, and like I said, this education purposes where I want to travel the world and teach everyone that art is not exactly what art was being taught in classrooms for the last, who knows, for me at least 20 plus years. So
of course.
I had a actually class with Spirit of Huntington was an art disability center where all the artists come together and put their talent on, and I was in front of 40 people and there was a PowerPoint of me and I'm teaching them and I'm actually really like, screw this art piece. Like, who knows about mixed media? No one.
No one.
No one raised their hands. I'm like, all right, so teaching them, everybody come up. I'm like, I hold like something like this. I'm like, all right, would you guys think like art could get created with something like this, like a can? And they're like, laughing, no. And I start pulling things out like leather, different objects, and I start painting with those objects rather than a paintbrush. And they're like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. And it's so amazing for me and fulfilling that at the end of the class, people are walking out saying, Dylan, this is the best day of my life.
Yeah.
This was the best day of my life. And I'm like, that shit's invaluable. Like if it's not worth $1 million, like the best day of your life.
Right.
Like this guy comes together, throws some shit, gets boxing gloves. It's the best day of your life. And that, like, to me, I'm driving back and I'm like
opening the brain.
Yeah.
That's my win. Yeah. And then other stuff's gonna come through it. But it's a crazy path we're going on here.
Yeah. So you're trying to educate like you want to do like shows and like educate kind of kids growing up, like
I want to educate kids, people, adults, everyone, and essentially not really even educate. I want to learn myself through the process, right? So like quitting JP Morgan, I'm kind of a new artist.
Yeah.
I firmly believe that the way I see things is not from my brain. It's something else. And I see art that way, and I see life that way. I see conversations. I read people. I could see the Trainer Twins. You guys are such good-hearted, hardworking, family-oriented, people that look at you guys, what you're doing together. You're not only doing it sitting here together, you're also doing a podcast, letting other people share their stories. So, in my opinion, the reading aspect is my best thing, being able to read. Same thing with vision. So I could if I could read someone and I could actually get them their shoulders down, make them understand anything and everything could be created. Let me put some visions in your head once you tell me what you like. Now, what I could do on the redefining game is not be, I'm the artist Komodo. I'm going to do it and I'll get that check. I want to say, I'm Komodo Art and I'm going to make this vision the best, where this could be a cool thing you guys chop up, where you could get the old, I don't know, for advertisement purposes, you're going to get that footage, but the show tanked, right? Brett and Wade, these two guys from Long Island. Their thing is, we're two guys from Long Island that moved to Las Vegas to follow our dreams, to build underwater masterpieces.
Yeah.
Oh,
I did not know that.
Yes.
They had a TV show, right?
Brett and Wade, tanked on Animal Planet.
Yeah.
Fish tanks, like the crazy.
Yes.
I did not know they were from Long Island. That's cool.
Yeah, and I know that because of their intro to the show. Like, two guys from Long Island moved to Vegas to follow their dreams to build underworld masterpiece. And that's like their hook, turn visions to reality, right? So when you think about that show, Brett and Wade are artists, right? They have their hands into everything. And if you watch the show, you see their humongous factory facility that they have, if not hundreds, 50 people working with it. People are working on the tank custom. People are working on the fish tank decor, the cabinetry, the wood. There's people doing everything, and they have their hands in everything. But how their brains operate, they're the ones who are getting in contact with these type of people who are able to make the vision come to life, right? So for Komodo Art, for me, it's kind of like I'm gonna have my hands in everything. I'm not gonna not be doing something on a piece.
Right.
However, it's now to the point where if I hear this vision, and I let's say 3D art more now, and this is gonna be something that's a complete photo, like realistic painting, I'm gonna do my part to help out, and then I'm gonna get one of the best painters in the country who's on Komodo Art to come in and help with the detail on the face, like the wrinkles, the stuff like that. I personally, not that I can't do that right now, and I'm going to, as time goes on, learn that skill set. But right now, it's like it's not about me; it's about Komodo Art. And if I have a team right now of 10 artists that work on the daily, and now I have a batch of, at this point, it's getting close to 50 plus artists between sculpting, painting, that
all the mediums.
That's so dope.
Yeah, so now I can meet people. That's my biggest thing. Now I can meet people, use my artistic skill sets in ways where I'm doing it on the canvas, but also doing things that artists aren't used to, which is building relationships. Now that I have this, I take it to my team and I say, look, this is something I'm going to do my whole self. Or if it's something where we're If we were talking about your dad, even a little like if we could build something like a lighthouse instead of paint a lighthouse.
Yeah.
Now it's the point where painting a lighthouse. I could paint that. Now making it a real lighthouse, we'll build it out of wood. We'll put a light at the top, have the electrician on my team, put that in, snake a wire, the wire through the wall, and then put a switch on the back. So now you hit that, and now there's this lighthouse in your crib that's 8 foot tall that's embedded in the painting.
Right.
And something like that.
It's totally
I don't even
different.
want to do myself. I want to be like, yo, you're getting a company.
best
You're getting a gallery. Like when the really cool girls before that were here said, are you an artist? And you have a gallery. I said, I am a gallery, baby. You looking at it. I'm walking
that's
gallery. And, for me, Komodo Art really isn't about selling other people's art. Every piece I have a touch on, and some more, some less, depending on the budget, the dimensions, the visions. There's so much that goes into it. But now it's so awesome that, as I've kind of really been pumping and starting and pushing this company and kind of what we've done already, that it's just something that's unique, it's different. And my job is to put out the things I already have in here that are crazy, that I'm not going to say on camera because I've already said a little bit, and I learned too in business that, my biggest thing is I love people and I have the biggest heart, and I'll go crazy saying stuff. And then you learn things in life. People aren't who they think. And now people are trying to take your visions.
Of course.
I had one story where
100%.
I don't drop names, but I had this whole crazy idea that you guys are going to see in real life. And we're actually going to talk to shout out with Bobby, who we were chilling with the other day. We're going to, talk about something. And it's this idea is going to go bananas. But I told this kid this thing, and, I looked at him like a good friend, and it came to the point where we were hanging out every day, and he was helping me with things, and he knew about this, right? And, stuff happened when we went away in a trip, and not saying it was anybody's thing, but basically when I got back, it was kind of like I saw on Instagram that everything I had of my idea was, in a description saying he was doing. And it's kind of a time where I said, look, you got to trust people. You got to trust people, but you also got to trust your intuition in the sense where like you let time build and something.
Yeah, you're like excited to do it, but
you're
can't
excited to
tell
say
it.
stuff, but it's like you say something like I have, which you guys, not the camera, I'll tell you guys off. It's something that's not been out there, and it's already done. I just need this team to come in and put it out. And I'm not really I'm gonna be doing my parts, but it's a lot more people that are gonna get this done.
Vision.
And it's I don't know. I feel like sometimes it's just,
It's hard.
It is.
'Cause people take
but then
it-
you can't
it-
not go
take
out there and
advantage
say
and run
one
with
bad
it.
apple is going to deteriorate you from meeting all the good apples
exactly.
out there.
Yeah.
So as
Yeah,
this
no.
happened to me, I'm
Just
like,
gotta,
fuck them.
Yeah.
I'm
Pass
going
it
to
on and
fucking
keep going,
heal as
Some
much as
people
it takes me a
suck.
day,
Yeah,
or if
some
it takes me
people
a
are-
month,
yeah.
which it's happened both. Took me sometimes longer when I've been through other situations, like getting scammed 5K and then fucking set up to Detroit to do Eminem's new restaurant and thinking I had this $400,000 opportunity. And, I didn't have a good head on my shoulders, and I'm all excited listening to everyone. So, I sent some money to help out with the show. Idiot, trying to, be like a team guy for this opportunity. And then I was so close to going to Detroit and doing this. So as I found out it was a scam, literally I'm in Las Vegas. I was about to go back home to New York, and then I directed my flight to Detroit. And I was about to go to Detroit, and my mom's like, Dylan, you really want to do this? And I was about to go. And once I found out this was a scam, I was like, oh my God, I could get back to the airport. I got to, change this flight, go home. So I couldn't do that. Try to change it to another flight. They said the art's too big. We can't bring it in a plane. So now after this happened, I'm in Vegas alone. It's like midnight, and I don't know much people, and, I don't trust people at this point. So I'm like, what do I do? I'm just sitting in the airport. It's like midnight. I got my art around me in boxes. And some guy that I knew, one of my boys I met there, he picked me up, took me to his house, made me food. He had his wife there, his mom, took me back the next day, dropped his daughter off at school, and then took me back to the airport. So like good apples can take you away from the bad apple. There's people that out there really that, I that's what I learned. I'm not going to let the people that have their motives hurt me from meeting the people like
That you're
you
supposed to.
guys,
Yeah.
you know, to meet good people. So, yeah, I feel like just there's so many learning lessons
crazy. I
and
can't
stories,
believe
and
it.
now
That's
as we're
insane.
rocking and rolling, and you know, we're working on some big things now. And
Who's your favorite that you've done?
my favorite that I've done
Like
is
your
probably
famous, your favorite famous person that you've painted for.
like celebrity status.
yeah.
Guy Fieri.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, because of just
How
alone.
did you like meet him or what?
So it was kind of all these people at this point, the celebrities. It was like my strategy of letting people know who Komodo is. So I would
Do you like find somewhere where they go? Like,
not anymore, but this was kind of something I did like when I, before I started getting commissions and kind of with
Right.
this company where things now time is more valuable than anything.
Right.
But at this point, I didn't make a dollar.
Time was nothing.
You know, so I was like, there was
doing it for
Tyson,
free.
50, Saquon, Guy Fieri, Kurt Angle, The Big Show, The Spice Girls, Deion Sanders, Kevin from The Office.
oh wow, there's a lot of people. Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
it kind of like, I was trying to go to everyone. I didn't care
Yeah.
if it was music, sports. I was like, let me find people that have a following, because unfortunately, people in this world love people with followers and doing big things.
Yeah, of
I personally
Yeah.
don't give a shit.
Yeah.
So every time I met these people, I said, everyone else was like, oh my God, nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Oh, like
Yeah, yeah.
crying.
Put them like on
I
the
was like,
pedestal.
They're just a
no,
person
what's up,
too.
guy? My name's Dylan. I'm the artist Komodo. I just quit my job at Wall Street 2 weeks ago to follow my dream. I made this for you. He's like, you want me to sign it? I'm like, no, it's for you. And then right off the bat, they're like, whoa, this
Yeah.
is different. What is going on here? And my hope was to really build a connection with one of them and like see the real. And I would write a love note,
Yeah.
not a
right.
romantic,
Yeah, on
but
the
like
back,
a
right?
nice note to everyone and say like, I look up to you. Use my number, my contact.
Yeah.
Never got a call from anyone, which it's okay because
Yeah.
it was the chapter in my book and it got me to where I am now. But Guy, out of everyone, it was funny because I heard a story in Saratoga that one time. It was like, he was eating with his family and a girl came up and, she went to go say hi and he was like, I'm eating. Can't you see I'm eating? And like, that's when I was with my partners. I heard this story and I was like, oh, like, I don't like that.
That's horrible.
So when I was looking up these people, I saw him and I'm like, you know what? Kind of got this fed, but it's about me, baby. I
Yeah.
got to get this right now. And, give it. I made it for him. If he
Yeah.
doesn't like it, he likes it. Like, what are we doing here? I just
Right.
gave you something for free.
Yeah.
I spent mad time on. So I meet him and he literally stops the whole show, the meet and greet. He moves the Santo tequila bottles around. He goes, what? He puts around, he goes, come over here, grabs me. He starts talking, which was my favorite video. He's
Oh.
like, artist Komodo just leaves his job at Wall Street to follow his dream. And we're taking pictures.
Oh,
He's like,
that's
you got your
dope.
business
See?
cards. And then he's like, hold on one second. And he's like talking to like his partner. And he's like, hold on, stay right here. And I'm like, the hell, stay right here. And I'm like, what is he gonna do? So his partner brings out a custom cigar box that's Guy Fieri's company. He goes, yeah, by the way, I have a cigar company. I'm gonna give you this box and all these cigars, and we're gonna
Oh,
talk
shit.
about doing some stuff for the companies. And he writes me on the thing, follow your dreams, Guy Fieri. And we took a picture and we're like, yeah, fuck
that's
yeah.
cool. Yeah, yeah.
So he was like the one that
awesome.
really made me feel like,
So
again,
Yeah.
about the art, not about the art, whether he liked it, he didn't like it, like from his heart.
Yeah.
Like we connect, like we had that connection where maybe just hearing my story too, as well as seeing the art, gave him a
Right.
little bit more of like, this kid's out here trying to make it, like,
Yeah.
and doing anything. And that was my favorite one.
That's cool. Yeah, that's cool. You found like these people, and then you would just like paint like them. Like, how did you?
Paint anything. I would put stuff together. Some of the stuff
Some of
was
them have,
nuts.
like,
So here's a good
lights
time
hanging
to
out of
talk
them.
about it.
Oh, really?
Here's a good time to talk about it for a podcast to be funny, right? Let's get funny. So first piece of art someone owned for me was Mike Tyson, right? This was before I knew about epoxy resin and,
Okay,
industrial
yeah.
glue.
Like yeah.
So Tyson got a piece with some hot glue. So first piece I ever made, I was learning. So his stuff he might have something even hanging right now. At the end of the day, Tyson got a hot glue piece, Mike Tyson. Not proud, but it's hilarious. Like,
Yeah.
it's one I didn't know about resin. So I'm like, oh, this is what you have to do.
Yeah.
And, then I'm in a $15 million apartment doing a golf performance thing. And I take this tarp up and there's paint all over this $15 million apartment. So I look at everyone, people are looking through the penthouse windows like, and I'm like, ooh, put that back. And I say, yo, we got a problem. I'm all nervous. And the guy comes out, he goes, what do you mean? It's no big deal. You don't think we have insurance for this place for a $15 million apartment? he's like, what happens if you punch me in the face right now? And I was like, oh, well, I see your point. Like, you're having all these random investors and sponsors come in. They got to be worried for other stuff. So they didn't care at all.
Crazy.
And they're like, oh, back to the
would've
bar.
been shitting
And
my
I was
pants.
like, I was like, and then even now, like thinking about it, currently shitting my pants, thinking about Mike Tyson has hot glue, right? But that's the part where it's like,
just like you grow, it's like, as an artist,
it's like, you know, I never would say that. And I was telling my boy O'Sully, my boy Connor O'Sullivan, the man, the myth, the legend, I was telling him yesterday, look, I want to say this on this podcast because at first I was talking all about this good stuff. Mike Tyson, you know, people gave him diamonds. He didn't take that. He took my arm. People don't want to hear that shit. And, you know, at the end of the day, it's shit that's funny and it's real. Like, it's like what artists, you see artists doing and like living the good life, smiling, and then in reality, like what we're dealing with, like, oh shit, like thinking about now, Tyson, like very well, one of the pieces literally might be hanging off a little bit or fell off. And to me, it's like, it's actually funny. It's comical. And I'll make another piece for him in the future.
Hopefully he finds the note on the back and calls you to repair it.
Tyson is like, hey, what's up, Dale? It's like, I'm actually fighting Jake Paul soon, but I need you to repair this. I'm like, oh, I'll fight Logan, and I'm coming to help too.
Who's somebody you want to work for in the future? Like, you would be like, wow, that's really
It's a good question. I have like 3 of them.
Just say them all.
Well,
You could say them all.
McGregor would be really cool.
Oh, that would be so sick.
And he's a cool guy. I've seen him like take art that people gave him, and he's like, probably
That's
off
cool,
like
like,
crazy
excited about it,
proper 12, like, what are you talking about, the boy? Oh, thank you so much. And I feel he'll be cool. There's a couple of other people that I really had like
McGregor's cool.
That's a cool.
McGregor is good, but there was I don't know why I'm drawing a blank right now. For a while, it was the real Tarzan, the guy Mike Holston. And when I was in Miami, I knew he was from there. So I actually was going to go to the zoo, the Miami Zoo. And I looked up, he wasn't there anymore. So I found out a different place where he was at, called them. They said he's not there all the time, but if you send a video, we'll send it to him. So I take all my pieces out in the street in Miami at this event. I said, I got to do this first. Lay them all out. People are walking by. I'm like, laying everything like a little personal art show, and I'm taking videos to send to see which one Tarzan likes. And I sent a video, and there was one with the crocodile that I thought he would like. It's called the Corky Croc, and there's all corks on it, and then there's a 3D gator, a croc in the middle, and it's cool. And I sent them everything, and all of a sudden they get back to me and said he really likes the Scarface one, which is like Scarface, and then there's Scar the lion from Lion King. So it's like ties into the Scar aspect. It's called Don't Let Life Scar You, which goes back into our previous conversation. You know, don't let life scar you from previous things that, you know, you went through to, you know, let you be in front of opportunities that are going to take you to the next level. And we all have scars. We all have bad stuff. And a lot of people let that say, you know, why me factor rather than, you know, not why it happened, but how do I be a better person, get over it, be there in a better, positive way. 100%. So, yeah, that was
that's
cool. Some cool people.
Everyone at our fundraiser, everyone liked the boxing one, right?
Yeah, everybody wanted
Rocky Balboa.
Yes.
That one's a tough. That one's so cool too because that's the first one of my ever live show. So like that one,
that one was like everyone was like,
everybody was like, whoa, what is that? How do I get that? You can't have
our
that.
next
5 bands, baby.
Our next event, we have to put like your stuff up because there was so many people.
Yeah, it's cool too because it's like ambiance. It's like you're like a little art
like we didn't really have much room, but like if we
have my shit on like the boxes and stuff. I just leaned on.
If we set it up like differently, like there would have been like I think like 3 or 4 people that would have bought pieces. Like. Yeah, but for me, like it's. I always stress this. Like, it's about people. People loved it. Yeah.
It's about people for me. Like I always do some of these events, and it's like so many events I go to. I don't sell stuff because, you know, one, if it's not something I'm willing to like go for, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And on top of that, some people, you know, for some prices I have, the art I have doesn't make, but it's the conversation I'm in. The connections, the feedback.
100%.
Yo, that one is the coolest piece of art I have. Like, oh, you want to buy it? Like, oh, no, I can't do that, but I can't have that. But that's my favorite piece ever. that's amazing for me to hear. I don't care if
Yeah.
you buy it, bro. Thank you for
Yeah.
telling me,
Of course.
and being cool.
Right.
And, you know, Sully with me, we went to Tiki Hut, like I said, and we did the scooter. There's like thousands of people.
Yeah.
And I tell everyone, I'm like, I go to an event, there'll be thousands, hundreds of people. I only really need to like get really like close with like
handful.
5 or 10 of them.
Yeah.
Not that I want to, but some people walk by, they don't have a time. But the people that I sit there and like, we could just sit in front of each other.
Yeah.
Like, what's your number, bro? What's your number, girl? We gotta talk.
Yeah,
And it's like,
Exactly.
that goes on. Now
Yeah.
it's a few more events, few more things you're
Because
meeting.
that one person will tell 5 people, then you keep
It's
moving.
domino effect. And just like how local we met, you know, now like when I came here, I'm like, I want to introduce you to Josh. You know, I want to introduce you to Osola. He's fucking, you know, he's going crazy on DJing right now. Good. Now it's like between so many different fields, like Tony says, like I know a guy. Like I naturally love being like, you know, kind of like knowing people through art too, and then
Yeah. And
helping
connecting
others too, and
people.
connecting
Yeah.
people. Because again, it all goes back to people. Like people is like
We'll
my
never get
trunk.
Your
without
connections will get you
people.
further than anything else.
And other things like the art, you know, that's like embedded in the trunk, yes, but because of the art, it's the people.
Yeah, exactly.
And then there's so many different shit that is intertwined where like all these events I'm going to, whether it's charity, non-for-profit, for-profit, you know, for certain businesses,
Right.
like I'm an honest Abe. I haven't gone to a lot of crazy ones. Been to a couple NFL ones, you know, been in some big rooms, but
Yeah.
to the point where there's so many events and they're all going on, and it's
Yeah.
like the more people you know,
Yeah.
you know, just the more opportunities you could say to say, I want to go there, I don't want to. I want to follow up with this person I met last night and actually get to know them, or I'll just
don't.
let it slide by.
Right.
So for me, I always follow up with people and say, "Oh, great to meet you." You know, the next day, and then there's some of those people, like half of those even fall out. But there's always some that like stick.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you don't
100%.
put yourself out in the world, you're never gonna build
No.
that stick. It might take you go to 1,000 events and putting yourself driving to Miami every year doing the shit I did, and then every year you're gonna meet people.
Grow,
So
yeah.
I'm just crazy. I'm extrovert. I'll talk my
100%.
ass off. I'll freaking
Yeah.
get in your face and I'll say shit that you look at me like he's laughing at me the whole ride. I'm just saying shit. And he's like, what? Dude, like, what? And then I'm like, oh, I don't even mean that. Like, I'm like,
Yeah.
And then I think leaving JP and being this artist finally just put me in that position where I know people talk shit and just say stuff,
Right.
and it doesn't bother me. If anything, it like, not that it motivates me so much. It's more so just it's not like my main, like I really just don't care.
Yeah, a lot of people don't get over that, so it's
Yeah.
yeah. They'll stay quiet and
Hell
not
yeah.
Oh,
themselves.
What's your next
Forever.
biggest event that you have coming up?
Probably Basel. We were on the phone for a bunch of shit trying to get that together. I got a couple of events. That's going to be next. And then in February, I have an event that's going to be covered nationwide coverage that I got 5 big pieces I'm making that in Tampa. I'm probably going to be shipping them both out and then flying down there rather than I got like people driving 5 different vans because pieces are going to be huge.
Yeah.
That's February. With one of my new friends, Yana, that I built such a great relationship with. We're like best friends. We talk every day.
Yeah.
She's literally a genius, this lady. And, you know, we have a lot in common. And I love talking with her. I always learn things.
Yeah.
And she has such a big heart where she's just like a type of person where she wants to help people.
Yeah.
And as we met, you know, she really just saw nothing I had to try to do, just me being authentic, which I really am trying to make a difference. And we connected right off the bat. And like I said, we talk every day. Now it's to the point where she's helping me so much with things in art, not for me asking, not for me thinking
Yeah.
of that, because of relationships. And when you like someone, you're going to help them.
Yeah.
And I just want to be in a position where I kill it and crush everything and take over and do what people want to work with me,
Yeah.
where I can help other people and do things like that. So
That's dope.
we got a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
Well, thank you
Awesome.
so much for coming on our pod. We
Of
appreciate
course. Thank you guys for having
And we
me.
can't wait for the events. We'll be at them.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'm going to be at yours too. We're going to be swapping events. Thank you guys.